welcome to the XFO Intelligence Podcast. So, we're in a world of capital abundance, right? What that means is, well, you have all this institutional money chasing the same global themes. It creates crowded trades, diminishing returns. But the most sophisticated family offices, they're making a really counterintuitive move. They're pivoting away from all that noise on the global stage, and instead, they're turning their focus to something much closer to home, hyper-local, place-based investing. And it's here that they're discovering this really unexpected competitive advantage. It's the ability to capture what we at XFO Intelligence, what we term governance arbitrage. So, what is that? At its core, governance arbitrage it's really about using the unique DNA of a family office. Its flexible governance, its patient capital, and that foundational purpose, and using all that as a decisive edge in local impact markets. And this is key. It's a strategy that institutional investors, just by their very design, cannot replicate. This whole approach, it's built on three pillars. First, while the large institutions, they need liquid, standardized metrics, right? These forward-thinking family offices are deploying much more advanced impact measurement tools. They're able to capture these nuanced qualitative outcomes that you only see at a community scale. They're tracking everything from local job creation to ecosystem resilience, and they're doing it in ways that would just be prohibitively expensive for a quarterly reporting fund. Second, they leverage curated networks. And these aren't just, transactional sourcing channels. No, these are deep, deep relationships with local partners, and they're developed through patient trust building. And that provides access to proprietary deal flow, to on-the-ground intelligence that, well, it just remains invisible to those distant capital centers. And third, this is really interesting, governance itself becomes an active capability. It's not just a compliance function. These offices, they can rapidly adapt their investment frameworks to shifting community needs. They're completely free from that bureaucratic drag that just paralyzes larger organizations. And what happens is this journey, it transforms the family office from being just a simple capital allocator into something much more profound. We call it an existential anchor institution. It becomes this gravitational center, a source of stability, and an entire community economy can actually begin to reorganize around it. See, its generational time horizon, that creates the space for these slow return, high impact interventions, the very things institutional capital must avoid, just by its nature. And critically, this strategy, it addresses two of the greatest hidden risks in modern wealth management. One, it mitigates the liquidity fragility you see in overallocated private portfolios. It does this by ensuring the investments serve a tangible, visible purpose, something that justifies a long-term commitment across generations. But maybe even more importantly, it inoculates against that existential crisis of meaning that can, erode wealth from the inside out. It replaces that hollow question, how do we preserve this fortune? And it substitutes it with this really energizing inquiry. What thriving community are we co-creating? And this isn't just psychological. No, it drives tangible advantages. We're talking talent retention, next-generation engagement, and real strategic clarity. The family offices that are really executing on this strategy, they understand a very subtle but powerful truth. In an era of abundant capital, the truly scarce resource is not money, it's the legitimate authority to shape local systems. And when you formally codify your family's answer to what do we stand for, well, you transform those abstract values into deployable assets. An asset that unlocks trusted partnerships and de-risks investments in a way that no financial instrument ever could. This is the future of family office leadership. It's a new model of capitalism, one that aligns financial returns with human flourishing. So in this emerging landscape, the ultimate competitive advantage, it doesn't belong to those with the most capital. It belongs to those with the most evolved governance systems. Our research team here has compiled a much more detailed analysis and frameworks for implementing this strategy. So for those of you who are interested in exploring this further, we invite you to connect with us. Just send an email to xfointelligence@gmail.com. Thank you for joining us. If you found this episode insightful, we'd really encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to the XFO Intelligence podcast channel for more deep augmented thinking.